Okay, section 6.1. All right, now it says homeworks 1 through 3 because homework number 1 and 2, well, they got us some numbers, but homework number 3, I want to know the percent of population who can swim. Now imagine if I had to actually do that. I would have to go out and say, do you know how to swim? Do you know how to swim? Do you know how to swim? And I get a bunch of yeses and nos. That's how you do it. You ask a yes and no question. Question number 4 is something about the average number of magazines. I'm not going to get a yes or no to that. I'm going to have the question, how many magazines do you get? And they're going to have to answer me with a number. And that's how you tell the stuff that goes with section 6.1. They belong to yes and no questions. So questions 1 and 2 on the homework, we didn't even have the details. N is 150. Well, that's the number of people you talk to. N is always going to be the number of people you talk to. And apparently 32 of them said yes. Okay, so that's where those numbers are coming from. This was some sort of yes or no question. Talked to 150 people, and 32 of them said yes. And then it says a 90% confidence level, as I said, like in the first video. It's always going to tell you what confidence to use. You just put that in your calculator. So let's go to calculators. The stat button, we're always on the stat button. It's a stats class. Okay, and then the third column over says tests. All right, so third column. And I see a whole bunch of tests, and I see a 1 prop Z test. But this doesn't say 1 prop Z test. It says 1 prop Z interval. Okay, the test buttons, we're going to use those. That's chapter 7. But if you continue on down, you see Z interval. That's not right. T interval, two sample Z interval. There it is. It's like choice A on my calculator. 1 prop Z interval. And you'll know you're in the right spot because it now just asks basically these 3 questions. So I've just got to put in X, it said was 32. N, it said was 150. And sea level, it said 0.90. Got to do that as a decimal. Don't put in like 90. It'll get upset. All right. And then calculate. And it gives me an answer. And what I said in the first one is we're interested in this answer in the parentheses here. 0.15832, comma, 0.26835. And then underneath that, it has a little P, and it's got like 3 pixels on it, but there's supposed to be a little hat sign, but it reduces to being like pixels. 0.2133. Okay, this, the 21.33%, that is the exact percent if I divided that out, 32 divided by 150. Okay, that's where that number is coming from. That is the answer I would give. Oh, it's 21%. Okay, and the other stuff, the interval, this is the confidence interval. Okay, usually you don't see those, like when you see a newspaper article, it'll say 21.3%. And then it says at the bottom that little plus or minus something. All right, you use the interval that you could if you're just doing a scientific study. You could just put that. Scientists will read it that way. But if you were doing a popular magazine type thing, what you would do is you would go with the error is big minus little divided by 2. So I take my big number, 0.26835, minus my little number, 0.15832, figure out what that is, and then after that figures that out, divide by 2. Don't try and do it all as 1. It has a tendency to just like make a mess out of it unless you use a whole lot of parentheses. Okay, and I get 0.055015. Okay, so 0.055. So if I was publishing a newspaper article on this particular study, whatever it was, I would say, oh, 21.3% of the population agree with this. And down at the bottom, I'd say plus or minus 5.5%. Okay, that's what the answer to this is. And it comes right out and it says, construct a confidence interval estimate. So on these ones, you didn't even have to come up with the margin of error on numbers 1 and 2. You just had to come up with the interval. That's an interval. Okay, but then when you go to do question number 3, it says identify P and E. Identify P would be to write down the number the calculator told you right there. and identify E would be to go ahead and do this calculation. So question number 3, it comes right out and tells you N is 200, X is 165, 95% confidence, and it says get to there and there.